with us today. Um, I am elated, I'm delighted, I'm happy that I got my oldest sister. We've been trying to get her down here for a while. Is Darlene Bryant, because we got a few stories that we need to tell about our coming up and growing up. Yeah, things that she did to cause me to get a beating. So, and then I have our baby brother. Yeah. I have baby boy Mike. So, welcome. Thank you all for gracing us today to be here with us on this topic that is really dear and near to our hearts. You know, we lost our mom and father to diabetes and different things, but they didn't get a chance to really live with the disability. Um, could have been better, could have went another way, but they did the best they could. But now that we have a chance, we want to talk about it and share it with people. It doesn't matter what happened to you in life, you still have a chance that you can just have life. So both of my sisters here have, if anyone knows us, if you don't know, they both had a stroke. My sister Gail here had hers in 2017 in December. And Darlene, what year was yours? I know it was in May, but what year was it? 24? Yeah. 24. Okay, so she had hers in 24. But through it all, we are trying to get on the page of still going on and have life and see what changes we can make. So I have my baby brother here, Mike here, who was very instrumental in all our lives. Yes, with coaching us through these disabilities. And I just want to say a little bit about his background. I know respiratory therapist. He trained for boxers. He's training for that, and then he trains for people with disability. And I know there's many more stuff you do, so you have to tell me. But I know that's the main things that you deal in getting people back to some kind of stability in their disability. So did I leave out anything?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. So during Gail you had your stroke first. Yes. And even though you went to rehab, when you came home, you had Mike to walk you through mainly
right.
daily of your rehab. Now he's working now with our sister Darlene. She's kind of hard-headed, but that's okay. We're gonna talk about our bigger sister today, but no, she's under Mike here too. So Mike, I just want to ask a few questions, and you just hop in here to tell us what is the main thing that you do, like when people come, when we come with, she came with a stroke. What's your first thing? You assess the person, or what's your first thing you do?
That's about what they're about. Each person is their choice. Really, I feel how far you come back and how much you progress. It's not what's on you, it's within you.
Okay.
That's my motto. Do a lot of resistance, a lot of stressing, but it's important to keep moving. Working on strength. Rehab is not all that you need. They do direct you, give you different.
I'm gonna give you the mic so you can talk in this. It's important. It's just just talk to the. Because it's important what you're saying.
Rehab is not end all. Most of it should be done at home. They give you guidance on what to do, but in order to get that strength, 2-3 days a week is not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So each person has to be motivated in themselves and determined that they're going to make a comeback. Do most resistance bands because it's more natural. So that's why they give it to your physical therapist. I think that's the main thing. I know it worked for me. They told me I was going to always walk with a limp. I don't have all my strength back. I can do better myself, but I had a little disability myself. I was shot 6 times and I still got 5 bullets in me. So I'm just determined. I'm determined to get the best out of life. Of course, we have pain, especially days like the day of rain. But it's all in your mind and how much you can do, how much you want to do. It's one person.
So I hope that we can be heard here. But he said it's all in your mind of how much you want to rehabilitate yourself. So I'm going to I'll start with Gail first, that you can tell me what was important in your rehabbing that you found, knowing that it changed your life, but then having someone that cared and was there for you. I want you to speak just a little bit toward that, because sometimes people don't have someone the daily. They go to rehab, or they might not even go to rehab, but to have someone that walking it with you. You speak a little bit to that part of what he done for you.
Well, that's the ultimate. Support is everything. And my brother Michael is Johnny on the spot. Yes, he is. I wouldn't be this far if it wasn't for him. I was in rehab for 30 days. And when I came out, it was just 2 or 3 days. But the other days, he worked with me non-stop. Before we can even go to the gym, he brought his bands. He had me doing so much, but like he said, it's up to you. It's hard work because your body has to change, but I was blessed to have him because not only did he do the physical, because of his love for me, and he pushed me. I came from a wheelchair.
Yeah, I hear you say he was in a wheelchair, wasn't walking.
From a wheelchair to a cane, and as of now, I may walk with a cane occasionally, but he will always tell me, as he mentioned, he was shot, but he always told me, I don't have to limp. I have to put this in my mind. Don't walk with a limp. He said, I don't care if you have to crawl, walking slow, but make sure you practice walking the right way. It's all in your mind. That's what he drilled in me. It's in your mind.
Okay.
If you can think it, if you can believe it, you can do it. And I say support is everything. Not only support, having the right support. Because when the help hurts, that's a different story. But he was Johnny on the spot, and I credited my rehab to him.
Okay. So we're gonna talk to you, darling, because you had your stroke after her. So what I know it was a life-changing thing, but what do you find in having that support, and what's making you determined today with the support? How do you view having someone that's walking it with it, even though you're in rehab?
Like Gail said, Michael is phenomenal. For me, it's he is helping me to look beyond my condition. It is a mind thing. And not only do he talk about what I could do, he goes with me to rehab, and whatever he learned from there, he come back home and come back to my house and put it into play. So for me, that's support. Like Gil was saying about having the right support. Being that he come from a place where he had to look beyond or his condition and move or keep it moving. That's where he demonstrates to me, you can do it. You can do it. So that's what I'm grateful for.
So what I want to find out from Michael is, between these two, who was the most hard-headed? Because I know that they sit here, they trying to talk like I'm like the sister that know. Like, was they cooperative, and is it a little bit more work they could have done, or because I know we being funny, but sometimes someone can tell you what to do and how, but when you come back, so you leave them on Tuesday, Could you tell Thursday they didn't do anything? No, this is raw. This is raw podcast. It's me telling the truth.
It's a long journey for all of us. It takes more to just talk about it as far as getting up and working out, stretching, doing the bands. Sometimes you have to do it when you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the mind stuff comes in. Again, that's where how much you want out of it. Some people going along, their journey is not everybody's journey.
Mm-hmm.
Each person has his own pace, and just as long as you're working towards something, like if that's the case, I want to get raw myself first and foremost. There's a lot more I can do for myself as far as my condition. So I don't talk about anybody else. You know what I mean? As far as me, there's much more I can do, still can do, absolutely. But you know, it is what it is. Where I'm at, I'm gonna keep moving.
So what we're discussing today is you can live with a disability and still have life. So we're still, you all are still going on trips. You're still going shopping. I want to reiterate that, shopping. What do you find that, okay, so you got on the bus the other day. You caught SEPTA. They have handicap where they can let the bus down, and so we're gonna talk about fear and even in your disability, because people don't realize not only if you're disability, but if you're afraid, there come disappointments. There's a lot going along with just not the physical. How do you still say, I'm going to smile, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to do this, get on the bus, even with your fear? I know that was something for you to get on, not CCT, but a regular public bus. What was that like, knowing that you used to take the bus all your life to work? What was the change?
It was scary.
Okay.
It was scary, but like you said, I had not caught SEPTA in 3 years,
Mhm.
and just to get on there in this condition. The last time I caught SEPTA, I the one was helping somebody, just like CCT. I had a client, so it had switched for me. I became now the client, and that was a big something for me. Come from a home health aide to now needing an aide, that was very different for me. It's a culture shock.
Yeah.
Because when you're used to having your function, and then you go to not having it, and it hasn't not only resonated with you, but sometimes when it doesn't resonate with others either. You're not used to being in that condition, and they're not used to you being in that condition. So it can cause anxiety, it can cause fear, uncertainty. It comes with a lot of emotions.
How about the depression? Did you be depressed? Would you ever go into that? I know a lot of people, they just get depressed, right? Like y'all pushing, but then there's actually some people like they're pushing, but then there's days where they're just like, wow, I can't even believe this. How do you speak to that?
I guess it's different for me. So I'm just glad to be here. So I think of the blessings of it too. There could have been some people get shot one time, they're not here.
So that's what keeps you going?
Right.
Okay.
Just think about what can be the positive. It's more like to live. Live with the pain, just live with it, but just be blessed for where you are, what you have. And I'm still here. A lot of people didn't make it. You know what I mean? So that's what I focus on myself.
Okay. What do you focus on, Bill?
Readjusting. So I know I can't zipper up my clothes. So what I do now, I buy things that don't have no zipper.
Okay.
I can put over my head. I can't tie my shoes. So I get shoelaces that
footing
Okay.
because I don't have the ability to tie. So it's readjustment that's still living with disability.
Okay.
I can't do what I used to do, but I just, of course, my clothing had gotten a little bit more expensive because I had to tailor it to my disability, but I still can do it.
Okay. So they have handicap accessible
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yes.
Darling, how are you dealing with the change and what changes you had to make?
The same thing, buying things conducive to my disability. There's no need in me getting a whole lot of stuff that I can zip up, but I can't. I could do it a little bit with this hand, but I find that I'm used to both hands, so I had to do things adjusted to, and this is my dominant hand.
Let me speak to that. So, Mike, she had the stroke on her left side. Gail, you had the stroke on your right side, and you're right-handed. Your dominant side was affected.
Right.
You're still able to have your dominant side. Mike, what's the difference and what's the training for?
Same thing. First of all, you have to start off by letting the physical therapy, occupational therapy lead the way.
Okay.
Like for Gail, when I first started off, I was giving her things to squeeze, but her contraction already goes in that way. That's strengthening the actual movement of which they already have. So it's kind of harming instead of helping them. They wanted more exercises for the spread this way to keep it open. The tendons unit, bands, to stretch the ligaments, the cartilage, and just basically getting strength and not giving up. And the longer you stay like that, the worse it's going to be because it can contract permanent like that. So you always have to, even though it's painful, early intervention is the best, more frequent, weekends, everything. Another thing is your diet, because you're already facing different obstacles, so you can't have blood pressure, can't exercise, or diabetes. So all your organs and everything from a diet will help that as well. But that's not my expertise as far as in the hospital and all, but just going back and forth to therapy and doing the little things that I do. I was able to see with asking questions, but it's about letting your team lead you instead of just doing anything. Certain exercises might help hurt them.
Okay.
So the best thing is to get them in the rehab and be supportive of them. They'll give you the blueprint, but it's about support and helping follow the blueprint. And same exercise is not for everybody. Gail had a drop foot, she couldn't press down. So of course, remember she go to that machine where she can get some strength. So Darlene, hers is contorted, with, stiff. She need more flexion. So but you learn all of this through x-rays, through whatever they teach you at the rehab. The bottom line is when they go to their rehab, they're not gonna give you a certain amount for 6 months, they're gonna cut you off. People don't know that, just think they have a certain amount of just got insurance. But the insurance company is just about money. So they'll cut you off at a certain point. So in that gap, you need to have an addition, some kind of regimen you can do at home, so that you can keep it going until you're authorized to go back and get your insurance and get that treatment. But it's best to learn what they're doing, continue what they're doing, listen to what they say, and do it.
So you just hit on something really that's important in our life, and that's our eating habits. And I'm guilty, and I'm changing. I have been since this year 2025. I have made a change. Everything for me when I used to eat, I eat for taste night. So I had to really, I'm not a junk eater. I love food, but it's gonna be seasoned. So fried, it's just different. I didn't know how to do big fish. Not that I not do it, I didn't like it, right? But for this, you have to get a better nutritional system here. like, we have diabetes in our family, we have high blood pressure in our family, we have a lot of things that could be helped. And the major thing is sometimes our mouth, our eating habits. So, speaking to that, how did I have a cheat day. So I'm down to one cheat day. I had to take it slow. You say take it slow, right? Right. So instead of eating and on the cheat day I don't eat all day. I just maybe one day I just want some fried chicken. Maybe that next cheat day, it's weekly, that I want something else that I'm not supposed to have. But what is the balance, though, real and being serious? What is the balance? Because everybody can't eat everything, and then you mess up when you don't have a.
Well, for me, one thing I've noticed when people get sick, they lose their diet, mainly because of depression and everything else. So I might be the wrong one to speak on that subject because my main thing will be I'm more about exercises and eating something.
Okay.
Some people go days and days or not eating because they already deal with depression, dealing with sickness. That's one of their highlights is to eat. They've been eating fried chicken all their life. I'm not saying it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But in a time like this when you know you have to exercise, to me, that would be, everything is striving in time.
Okay.
I don't like baked chicken today, plain fried, I grill a lot, barbecue a lot. Not eating what I'm supposed to eat, but I'm to the point where it'll get better as it go along. Me personally, I don't think you can do Rome wasn't built overnight. Got to pick your poison. But a person eat and exercise and keep stretch and exercise, but you have energy to do that. If you're sitting there, you're weak, you're hungry, now you're depressed, your mind, nothing won't be right. To me, I don't know what the books say, any of that. I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes just giving people that, don't overdo it. Monitor their sugars, monitor their heart, their blood pressures, but it might be a choice of them not eating period versus eating some nutrition. I'm not gonna go all out overnight after a stroke or after gunshots and say I'm going to eat tofu, or anything else of that, or become a vegetarian. First of all, your body is used to certain chemistry. So you make too many changes, you might start getting headaches. So you gotta bring it a little slow, in my opinion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gil, you talk about your change of eating habits, or what do you feel? How did you so I know we all was high blood pressure, diabetes, we had it in our family. So what's your changes now going along with your disability? Like you say, some people have to take it, so you can't put too much on at one time. But first of all, you're dealing with the stroke, now you're trying to deal with the health. So how do you ease it in?
I ease it in slowly. So fried food is a treat for me. I don't do the fried. I try.
Air fry?
I do have an air fryer, but it's not fried food.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot of adjustments, and people say, well, your health is at stake, but after a while, I won't be eating like they just,
Well, for me, I'd rather not.
You'd rather not eat than to have.
Because it's not fried, and the air fryer doesn't give me that taste. So whereas you would adjust, I rather do without. I don't fried chicken. I love it, and he's always posting his meals that he cooked, and that. But I do, especially when you cook. The days you cook, I might have a cheat day then. Thankful that my husband is in with me with my health, so he doesn't give me fried food. So mainly when I get it, I'm sneaking it.
Okay.
And I've cut out the things that I really enjoy. And I learned, because my health, I wouldn't wish this on nobody. So my health is important.
Darling, how you doing with your eating and what's your changes?
None.
None? Okay. That's why we wanted her on the podcast. This is our older sister. She said none. But you have changed because, I mean, we this podcast is about telling the truth. Well, there was a time that you was on like 6 to 8 Pepsis a day.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're doing it now, right?
She gave it up? You gave it up?
Yeah, actually, if I look at her refrigerator, there's no Pepsi. So I don't know if they stick it to it without, but it's not in her refrigerator like it used to be. So you are making.
It used to be a time I couldn't go without 2 or 3 or 4 Pepsis a day, but I can now. Now that's a treat for me.
To get one once
to
in a while.
Pepsi every once in a while.
Okay.
But this ordeal has scared me.
Yeah.
So do you eat baked food or you know?
I like baked food, but every now and then I want a piece of fried chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have that every day.
No.
So you have made a change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then I have people around me that's very conscious of what they eat. So
So the
like
support.
cottage cheese and stuff like that. I'm not into that.
But you're doing it now?
I don't like cottage cheese too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. When I want something, I want what I want. There's no substitute to me for certain things. So
But what is your changes then? You know, you had a major stroke here, so even though it's not what we want, but do you change some? I know you got off the Pepsi.
yeah, I'll eat a lot of fried stuff. But see, Michael not right because he done introduced me to this place called The Reef. And in that place, they have fried shrimps and stuff like that. And it's
There's nothing healthy there, Mike? Is it a salad there?
She wanted the shrimp.
That's what she wanted. Okay.
It's
So,
very
but the
tasty.
place had healthy food.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right, darling. All right. So, if I go there to your bag right now, is any candy in it?
There's no candy. It's down at my house in the
Is
morning.
it not? So she didn't bring the candy to here, but she is down there at her house. But all seriousness, we making light of. Just have some fun, but it's life changing things that we have to make changes. We had our nephews along with our brother, there's Akeem and Tyrese and my the nieces Erica, Tira. They've been talking to us for years about trying to get it together with our diet. So don't let it come to a point that you have to. Like, make some gradual changes if nothing has happened to you yet. Try to make it not that it have to be done after something doesn't happen. So, and I'm talking about, for me, exercising, Mike. Okay.
And water.
And water. But let me tell you about the exercise. I never liked the exercise. I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, I was a runner. I love playing basketball. I love that. But when I'm talking about exercising, like, sit-ups and stuff, I was never that person. So, if you was never a person that exercised anyway, what would you say, or what could you recommend? Because I see that now they're doing chair exercising. It's nothing that you have to go to the gym. You can do it in your home. So there are a few things that, for people like me and Darlene, that don't like exercising. We never did. I'm not being funny. I just never. Now, I'm too old. Not too old. I'm out of shape to run right now. But if I had a choice, that's what I would be doing. I do treadmill. But what else could you recommend to a person who I don't want to do no sit-ups, Mike. So what would you recommend?
Exercise is about moving. Whether you do treadmill, move your arms, just move something to burn some calories. Do it to what you can do. I always look forward to moving and making it better. Some people go to the gym and they hurt, they never go back. After staying off a long time like that, you have to will yourself into it. Just take your time with yourself and be proud of yourself and keep making changes. And try to go nowhere, compete with nobody else, be on their level or what they're trying to do. Compete with yourself. And just if you sit in your chair, just lift your legs, lift your arms.
Yeah, I heard they say they have a video called Silver Sneakers, and it's exercising in the chair.
What is called?
Silver Sneakers.
That's a video
Mm-hmm.
and the exercise in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's dancing.
Okay. So, but you used to like to dance. She was a dancer, so.
You know, but something she look forward,
Okay.
Get in your feeling.
Okay.
Just make sure you're doing something different.
Okay. Yeah, what's your choice of exercise? What you do?
The bike,
The bike?
yeah,
Okay.
that's.
Stationary bike?
That's it. You know I can't get on the
Hey, you might working a miracle, I don't know. Okay.
No, the stationary bike, but I haven't done anything for my arm, my hand yet. Occasionally, but I don't have the what he used to do with the stretching. I don't have that anymore. That's something that I need, and also because the stroke affected our voice, my occupational therapist told me that the best exercise
See,
for that is singing.
Okay.
So that's why I do that, because it helps that
Okay.
therapy.
Okay. So there is life after
Yes.
disability. It's just like they all said, and my brother said, it's what you will yourself to do. Mind over matter, and it's life changing. It's life changing for the family. I know you all went through it, but can you speak to, for someone, the changes that happens in your family to deal with your disability? So you're married, right? You got a wife, you got children, you got grandchildren. Darling, you have children, you have grandchildren. You're married, you got children, you got a grandchild. This had to been life changing even for them, because all of you all was active. So if we could just speak a little bit to, for someone to know the support from your family seeing you in this state. I'm telling you, I went to the hospital with both of them. Like, I kept on trying to talk to them as if nothing happened, because I really couldn't deal with it. And Gil had to tell me sometimes, I can't do that no more, because come on, stand up. You have to get used to that something has happened. So how do you deal, like, you have a wife, you have children, what changes you had to make? I know you's a will person, so it's probably probably not the person to talk to, because you're going to be you.
Family was there. One thing that changed financially. So anything in life and family, when you support and this, that, and the other. As far as life, to be honest, is kind of let you know what life really about. I don't work any longer. Tired, but other than taking care of my health, make sure it's number one. I get a chance to see what life is really about. So my experience was different from people, especially how I'm gonna take it. I ain't got no other choice.
Okay.
I don't do those. That's my motto, right? So.
But you've been like that, so you just carried it over, right?
Right. I don't have another choice. What else?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there for myself. Nobody else will. Whether it's the doctors, rehab, anything. But you put that. They told me my arm will ever, couldn't bend. I walk with a limp. I don't do none of that.
Okay.
And it's all on the left side. My right side feel worse than my left side. I put so much emphasis and time in making sure I train. So I took it different. My mindset was different. My approach was different. I refused to fail. I didn't give myself no other choice. Still need to do more, but I'm already where I'm at though.
Okay. So, darling, you have grandkids and you have children. What changes happen, or what are you doing to get back up so you can go? Because it have affected them.
Yeah, especially that youngest grandchild. When she come over, Grandma, you gotta get up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she don't like seeing me sitting in that chair.
Right. So what did it do to you? Do it make you want to? Do you do more to get up for her, or?
I do.
Okay. All right. Gil, you got grandkids, got grandchild, and you got active kids. What's your mindset for?
As Mike said, I don't have the choice. Cause, I had one child. I had 3. But I had one child that, she never accepted my condition. And I don't know if she don't see. I don't know what the problem is. But she's very rough with me. But I appreciate it because it gave me the push to keep going. You're not going to stay like this. So pretty much my surroundings was that when Mike went to rehab with me, the therapist explained to him that he spoke of his gunshots. But she told him we both had brain injuries, but his was external. We had injury, but his was external. So for me, my brain had to heal first. I remember the time when in singing and I couldn't remember the words, but you all were not used to me doing that because I was the lead singer. But until my brain healed, you can't function or operate right. So what I learned is letting my brain heal. He always taught me, don't rush, take your time. And a lot of times we won't take the time to heal, but healing is important. And once I did that, then I had my children, different ones to start implementing the things I used to do. I'm still a property manager, not at a bigger level. I'm still doing the things I do, just not on a bigger scale. And I get to fly, Mike, and I go first. So that
You got benefits, but
I got benefits. I'm in a wheelchair.
So
So they put me on, I get on before everybody else. So that was a perk.
but that's something for somebody to help them to get over. There is perks in having disability, and even when you got on, when we went with you,
Right.
we also got on first too because we was with her. So just to keep you smiling, keep you laughing, and understand disability don't end your life. That's what this podcast is talking about today. You can live with a disability, but information can help you. So I remember it's not only for them who have a disability, but for the others that's helping them to know about their disability. Because when we were singing, I didn't understand her standing up on the stage and forget the whole song, something that we done sung 20 years. I couldn't adjust to it. I didn't understand that something has happened, so I had to go slow. I was like, Gil, like, really? You forgot the whole song? You wrote the song. But understanding the person with the disability can help them, that you don't put pressure. Because you told me one time I was putting pressure on you by doing that. So, like when we go to rehab, when I went to rehab with my older brother, they told me the person who's helping them is more important for them to know what they're going through if you're calling yourself helping them.
Right.
Because if you don't know, you just a body and you're harming them. So, as I don't know how much time we have left, but I'm just gonna go around just to speak positivity and those who is living with a disability. We done heard that it's a family change, financial change. They Michael and Gail both is married, so you lose a whole one person losing their income. You know, it's life changing. But they're here with me today, and they are making it. It's the mindset, and my sister Darlene, she is making it. Only thing you have to do is surround yourself with support, believe in yourself, even if it's something that you haven't done daily. I'm learning how to exercise. When I'm with y'all, I get my exercise back. Because I'm looking at y'all doing it. So even though I don't love exercise, but just being around them, knowing I'm doing it for them. So it's helping me to learn how to be a support. I can't go there and say, I don't like sit-ups, and you're already in your condition. So sometimes I go ahead and try to do something it's not sit ups, it's something. But I support Mike 100%. But I really appreciate you all being here, just to talk to people and encourage ourselves that it's not over. It is not over. Changing is hard for some, but you can do that too. The day, you know what my snacks was like? Carrots. That carrots, raw carrots. That when somebody said get a snack and they offer apples, and so it was a mindset for me. I would rather just say just eat an apple. Don't tell me that was the snack. Like it was the play on words. It's really something when you overcome it. But I was able to do it. So we're gonna go around the room as we end this podcast. I want to say again, thank you. Thank you for just coming and sitting as a family. We got 2 more in our siblings. We go hopefully one day we can get everybody together because I really want to talk about our childhood. I'm not over that, Mike. I want to talk about.
Well, he was young.
He gonna hear. He gonna hear what I got to say because we had to carry him around like he was a baby. You know what I'm saying?
And standing up on the chair.
Yeah, standing up on the chair cooking and doing his thing, but he always been independent.
Yeah.
So he's a plus to us because this is not a put on of doing something just because. He's been like this all our life, and it's a pleasure to have you as a brother and a friend and a coach and whatever else that you want to name. But we're gonna start with you, Gil. We're gonna end it. But if you could say anything to encourage someone, you have a disability, but you're still doing your thing, what would you say?
I would say surround yourself with positive people, even if you have to go to, they have groups that whether you had a stroke or whatever it is, they have people that have, that can identify with what you have. Get amongst people who are going the same way you are. I'm blessed to have had my family, but support is everything. Where there's life, there's hope. You might have to adjust, rearrange, retrain yourself, but where there's life, there's hope, and you can do it.
Dawn, what you got to say to encourage someone?
I would say the same thing that Gil just said. Surround yourself. I've been very blessed to have positive people in my life. Like keep iterating about our brother Michael. He's phenomenal. And get around people that see that you could do it even when you don't think you can. That will encourage you. Because I wouldn't have never had no idea of going on SEPTA to nowhere. It was a scary, but I was determined to get over my fear. And it became, once my mind accepted that I was going to be all right, it was enjoyable.
One thing I want you to do, they push me down.
I'm not going to, that's not, well, no.
But that'll help you to get over fear.
Who won't push me down?
Michael or Jackie can push you down.
Michael don't push me.
He said you.
Listen,
But no, that's what they taught me in therapy, so that when you're by yourself, if you have a fall, then you'll be able to get up on your own.
You have to do that in therapy, man.
what you do, Mike?
You have to do that in therapy.
Mike, what's your last part of the words to
Today
this?
would be, I hear y'all saying about surrounding yourself is that good, but number one, I would say stand up and show up for yourself. No one's gonna put anything to you, like you want to do yourself. Come from self-love, self-respect. What you want to do first and foremost before you start surrounding yourself with anything, be there for yourself.
So as we leave, we thank you for joining us today, and just know that you can live with a disability and you can have your life back. Again, I want to thank you all for joining me. We have my brother here, baby brother Michael Wright, and we have Darlene Bryan, our older sister, and I have our co-host here, Gil Barron. So as we sign off, as we usually do, we say
love family, work
work
hard,
hard, and be kind. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Thank you.
I can't get nobody.
So,
It's
don't forget July the 19th. The Wright family will be here. We're gonna have our raw session, and it's gonna be a good time. We'll talk